we came here today because the rate at which our environment is being degraded here is unacceptable. On average, every single day, not less than 6, 7, 8 square kilometers is degraded, and it's cut both as shelter and as well as fire for the refugees in this country. We cannot accept this to continue anymore. The wildlife in this area, which was one of the richest in wildlife before the refugees came in here, right now is depleted at a rate you cannot imagine. It's almost becoming extinct. So we are saying we will not accept this anymore. We want to call on the UN, and we want to call on all other interested parties to make sure that there's an alternative to wood fuel for the refugees. We will not also accept any more cutting of trees. And we also have to go on a major, very Marshall plan of trying to do a reforestation and bringing back the indigenous trees of this place. The indigenous trees of this place, and even in the indigenous wildlife. So we will create conservancies, we will create the mazingira parks, we will create everything that needs to be done to make sure this environment is protected for posterity and for generations to come. The whole world is now grappling with climate change. And now we cannot accept in our own backyard that we have a desert in the shortest possible time. And right now, people have come all the way from Dadaab and they're going all the way to Liboye. They've gone all the way to all the other sub-counties that are neighboring. And we will have a desert in this place in a very short time. So that is unacceptable. One message to the international community, the UN to begin with, is that you must find an alternative to cutting our trees as a form of energy for the refugees. The other message to the refugees, don't cut any more of our trees and don't kill any more of the wildlife. The final message to the residents of this place, the people who will bequeath this to their future generations, protect your environment. I'm welcoming the governor also to say a few words.
Okay, members of the media, first of all, I must say that I'm here. Of course, I'm here happy to be in Kulan. But also I came here as a very, very angry man. This morning we took a chopper, as you can see, from Nairobi with my Mheshimiwa Farah, the MP area, and also the minister for environment, and also my minister for agriculture. We came because of this huge, massive destruction. This is something unacceptable. We always knew that the refugees, who of course we have welcomed into our midst, we knew that they were cutting trees for fuel, for their cooking requirements. But we never imagined that a day will come when they will cause such massive, massive destruction. Here, this is something unusual. Today we are talking about, in this particular location where we are now, I'm told there are 94 donkey carts. Am I right?
Only 2 days.
94 donkey carts. As you can see, all of them, loaded with young acacia trees, green, still growing, which basically is a huge destruction, and as was said by Mheshimiwa Farah, unacceptable in all terms. What we are saying is that we expected the national government to help us in protecting the little, forest that we have in our midst. We expected to have here, forest rangers. We expected to have in this place, scouts. We expected to have askaris, or for that matter, security officers to help us. But that help is not forthcoming. It's not our problem. It's not a county government requirement in the sense of ensuring that forests are protected. This is supposed to be central government mandate, and we only support where we can. Nevertheless, if the national government has failed to do their job in this regard, and they can see what's happening to us and nothing is being done, the other unfortunate story is that also the international community, in particular the refugee-related organizations like UNHCR, WFP and the others, have also failed us terribly. Because right now we are facing a situation whereby these people, the refugees, are cutting our trees because they use them for firewood and for shelter construction. The refugees are also killing our wildlife, particularly the giraffes, because they are not given enough protein, or rather they are not given any kind of meat in the food that they're given to them. So in both cases, it's us now who have been left to basically suffer all the loss. Our wildlife is being killed by the refugees, and our, as you can see also, our plants and particularly the acacia tree, which is so dear to us, which is, a tree of identity for us, is being eliminated in a very, very unfortunately serious way. I've just been informed that one of these trees will normally take about 20 years
even more than that.
Or probably 30 years.
Up to 300 years.
Now imagine how many trees were cut in the last few days by these people. So today I'm here as a very, very miserable man, as a very angry man, that we are actually being let down seriously by both the national government and also by the international organizations, the UN agencies. So I want to echo the message of Mheshimiwa Farah by saying that we are not going to allow any more cutting of our trees by refugees. And in fact, we will even go more than that. We are going to detain the refugees so the world can also know the misery we are facing. In fact, we sometimes are even suffering more than the refugees themselves if this goes on like this. So my message to the international community is that we're not going to allow, if the refugees have been here, we are welcome them, we are still welcoming them, but not anymore at the cost of us losing further on our what do you call environment. So this is what I came up with today. Number one, first of all, I was coordinating with the community here in Kulan, and I want to appreciate the Mazingira committee that was formed here, comprising of young men and women for that matter. I want to see them separately so that I appreciate them and award them a certificate for the good job that they've done in terms of, catching these culprits or apprehending these culprits. This is a good job that they're the ones who went out and followed these people here. And today, this is an evidence. This is basically an exhibit of the destruction that was done. So that committee is the first committee which I will give full support as the county governor. We will employ a large number of young rangers in Kulan here to protect our environment. I will sit down with the committee, see how many people we may need here to employ in Kulan, so that they can keep protecting the environment. We will agree, but as soon as possible, we will employ a large number of young men and women to continue doing the good job. Number two, budgetary-wise, we'll also support the committee to ensure that they also continue doing their good job. Number three, which is even more important, today I'm here to launch the first ever environment park. A park that I want trees to be grown. Like we are going to start growing trees today, myself and Mheshimiwa here, we will start, and every person should start growing trees. So I've already requested for the chief and the elders to identify a ground. I hope that chief has been done. Yes, sir. So we'll go there so that we can launch the park, the Kulan Environment Park, so that we grow trees and keep growing trees in that park until we have a green belt in Kulan here. And we'll repeat that same story or that same also initiative in also many other parts of our county. Yes. So before I take questions from the media, that's our story, a story whereby we came very angry this morning here because of this destruction. By the way, in that park, which we are going to initiate today, we will have all this remaining there as a memorial for this destruction. Are we together? Yes. This 94 cats will not be released. We will actually preserve them the way they are and make them part of that park as a memorial, as a remembrance to this destruction. And nobody should touch them. And that park, where we're going there right now, we'll see how it is, so we can start now a proper, construction of that park in terms of fencing, in terms of providing other requirements. so that we can have a park which will be a memorial by having all this destruction around it, so that people can know that we are not going to joke anymore as far as the environment is concerned.
Your Excellency, maybe let's get the first reaction.
I think during your first tenure,
I can't hear well.
during your first tenure,
Yes.
with your counterpart Ahmed, you have submitted a memorandum of understanding
Yes.
to the UN boss.
Correct.
By then. I think it was not.
Let's just deal now with the situation that's there. We can deal with some of these things in our
So,
battle.
so what is your question?
Yeah, so the people who are now fighting this environmental degradation, they say they don't have mobility to facilitate.
But this is what he has just promised. He
Okay,
said he's going to give
we
a lot of
will.
support.
Well, the destruction now, as you can see, the level of destruction has now basically gone crazy.
Alarming. Yeah.
It's alarming, and that's why we came here this morning to, of course, share our stand with the people of Kulan and the other areas, and we will do everything. We will actually we'll deliberately allocate some budgeted resources
yeah.
to ensure that we get this time right.
Maybe at the assembly level, some laws that you maybe want to fast track.
Well, we have environmental
The laws
laws,
are there. The laws
but
are
unfortunately they're not being respected. They're not being enforced. Enforcement of such matters, which is also security related, is not for the county government, it's for the national government. It's not being done. So we, one by one. Go ahead.
What will you do?
Culprits.
Well, we are here to discuss, and that's why I came with Mheshimiwa here.
In
We will
future,
not,
yes.
we will
In
not,
future, anybody caught having a cut and cutting trees here is going to end up in jail for a very long time. You get my point? And we will tell this to the refugees, let them see it and hear it, that we will not accept any more cutting of trees, any more killing of our wildlife. Now, the other thing, the other thing I want to tell you is that Absamali and Wishege.
Somali, both of you.
Absamali and Wishege.
Before we go Somali, let me say, the culprits, Kidandu, the culprits, the ones who now caused this menace,
Have been released.
have been released by the community, and we may not necessarily pursue them. But none of these cuts will go from here. These are now our property as a memorial, as part of the memorial park we are creating. Let the UN buy for them. And I'm glad that I have my friend, and he must also, he's hearing what we're talking about. It is a refugee business. He also needs to see his word so that he can see our position. Going forward, as was said by Mheshimiwa Farah, we are not going to allow any more cutting of our trees or killing of our life by anybody, not just the refugees, by the way,
Even by the locals.
even by the locals.
Yes.
We are serious about this business, and we are now all eyes regarding protecting the same. Karibu wana DRS.
For the UN, and Nguli is going to say this: buy energy-saving GCOs for the refugees, and get them the energy cakes.
Yes.
You can buy them from the sugar factories because they have them, they create them, and those cakes are what basically is what is used for cooking. But no more cutting of our trees. It's over. Yeah.
Come.
Yeah. You come here.
Yes.
So there's no more cutting of our trees. So very simple. Find that, yes.
Oh, sorry, sir.
Zoom that. No, you talk.
Yeah.
You talk.
You can see me from there. Okay. My name is retired Kano Nguli. I'm currently the camp manager responsible for the refugee camps. Obviously, this is a very saddening issue. It's been going on for some time now, and I'm glad that the governor and our area MP have taken action. I'll pass the same message to the refugees. I'll also share the same with the UNHCR organs. This obviously cannot continue. The continued process has really converted an otherwise green area into a desert. And so soon, if we don't take any action, this will be a vast desert. Yeah, so this we cannot accept. And so I'll take, thank you very much, sir. I'll take action.
Because at the end of the day, the buck stops with you.
The buck ideally does not stop with me.
Stops with everybody.
It stops with all of us.
Yeah.
But as the camp manager of the refugee camps, I can take steps to ensure that we curtail the freedom of movement of the refugees into areas where they can cause such damage. Yeah, and of course I'll appeal to the police and other security organs to assist in this, also the host community, because if they do not use the roads where the police patrol, it means they penetrate through the forests, and so our host community will also have its responsibility as well to put a stop to this. Yeah, anything else? Thank you.
Anybody, let me just finish. I also want to send out this very strong message to people in the administration, government employees, any of them who condone these things and are on what you call rent seeking and allowing some of these things to happen because they're being paid something, you lose your jobs. Officers of the security machinery, administrative officers, all of them. If you do that, we will make sure that you lose your job and somebody, other Kenyan who is patriotic and who is going to protect our environment will be brought in your place.